YouTube, Patreon, welcome back to another anime video. Now this one is called Every Anime Studio Explained in 17 minutes. Now if you know me, I'm pretty much new to anime, kinda. I've only seen like the generic, you know, the most popular stuff. Like from this screenshot alone, I've seen JJK, Demon Slayer, of course. I don't know what half of these are. One Piece, I'm only like 80 episodes in. I'll continue it someday. One Punch Man, first season. Solo Leveling, of course I've seen it. And the rest, I have no idea. Oh, there's Attack on Titan, I've seen that as well. But anyway, we're gonna check this out. Shout out to Auri Kendo. This is a new channel, I assume. 23 subs or 23,000 subs, but 750k views. That is insane. So it's got to be a banger of a video. If you do enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, check out my Patreon for full and early uncut reactions. We have Fate, JJK, Demon Slayer, Garden of Sinners movies, and a lot of other stuff. Let's go. Boom.
Studio Toei was founded in 1948, making it—
Oh, so this is about to be a history lesson. Okay, you know what? This is going to be a really good video because, again, I'm bad with names. I never care about studios unless it's like Ufotable, Mappa, or honestly, maybe that's about it. Oh, Studio Wit, they're cool as well. But yeah,
the oldest animation studios.
I want to know
It's
more.
responsible for some of the biggest anime ever, like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Sailor Moon, and much more.
I haven't seen
Because they've been
Dragon
around
Ball
for so long, they have a history that I can't entirely cover, but I'll try. Toei actually helped popularize trends like magical girls with Sailor Moon, or Super Mecha with Mazinger Z, and Toei Animation.
Chad, what music is this? Also, sorry I'm eating. I'm just having some dinner while watching a video. But yeah, hopefully it's not too annoying. But what music is that in the background? I like that a lot.
Super Mecha with Mazinger Z and Toei Animation can generally be a mixed bag. Because they take on so many projects and have many different teams working on different productions, the quality can vary wildly. If you see that Toei is animating something, you should check the actual staff involved with that series, and that usually is a better indicator of the actual quality that series will have. I mean, just look at the inconsistency in One Piece. Some of the episodes are jaw-dropping, but some are just like, eh. But one of the best things about Toei—
I mean, isn't that just a matter of time? Like, look, he just showed something really recent, I'm assuming. It looks very nice.
Consistency in One Piece. Some of the episodes are jaw-dropping, but some—
like, this kind of looks on the newer side, maybe like 500 episodes and above.
are just like, eh.
And then this is like something old, right? I don't know, it looks like it's from the early 200, 300 episodes,
One
maybe?
of the best things about Toei Animation is that their workers are unionized, meaning that they are generally treated amazingly compared to other anime studios. From what I understand,
let me guess, Mappa doesn't have this, right? I'm just gonna assume that. I don't know.
One Piece is a pretty smooth and positive experience.
Because I
Studio
know
Madhouse was
their
founded
workers
in
are
1972
treated like crap.
and is well regarded in the anime community for their sheer quantity of quality shows that they produce.
Madhouse.
This is mainly because the former founder and CEO, Masao Maruyama, had connections to people like Satoshi Kon, Mamoru Hosoda, and Masaki Yuasa, some of the best anime directors, and they were able to consistently pump out bangers. They've made a ton of insanely high quality projects like Perfect Blue, Death Note,
Oh my god, look, it's Perfect Blue. Have you guys seen that movie? Because I have. Well, like when I tried it out, I thought it was gonna be something completely different. But then when I watched it, I was like, wow, this got really, really dark. It was crazy. It was so dark.
Hunter x Hunter, and even just recently Free Run.
Hunter.
Unfortunately, in 2010,
Great movie.
a big split happened between Madhouse, and they lost a lot of their core staff. In addition,
What?
Maruyama left to make Mappa, which really hurt Madhouse in the long run. We'll
What? This guy's the villain. Oh my god, he made Mappa?
get to that later. But surprisingly, they seem to have rebuilt themselves.
Is
It
that
looks
Free
like
Run?
they are still capable of pumping out amazing
that?
shows while still grabbing industry veterans,
I
as
don't know.
shown with Free Run. And
I think I saw-
honestly,
oh,
I
Free
doubt
Run.
that fact will change in the future because of their legacy. However, just like other anime studios, Madhouse has had problems with overworking their employees. In 2019, a production assistant said that he worked over 393 hours in a single month. That's
What?
f***ing insane. And he ended up joining a union to actually sue Madhouse for the overtime. Studio
Good job.
Ghibli is probably the most widely recognized anime
Wait. So you're telling me Madhouse is just as bad as Mappa? Is that the lesson that we just learned? Or did I miss something?
studio in the world, and that's for good reason. Only
Wait,
two
what? The best studio in the world?
joining a union to actually sue Madhouse for the overtime. Studio Ghibli is probably the most widely recognized anime studio in the
widely
world,
recognized.
and that's for good reason. Only 2 anime movies have ever won Oscars, and both belong to Spirited Away and The Boy and the Heron, respectively. In 1985, Miyazaki and Takahata broke off from
I've only heard about the movies when it comes to this studio. Spirited Away, that movie, for example, and the other ones. I've never heard about their anime. Do they make anime?
Toei Animation to form Ghibli, along with Toshio Suzuki. It is worth noting that Hayao Miyazaki is pretty much the face of Studio Ghibli. Every work with his name attached seems to garner a ton more attention. Also, if you're wondering why a lot of his
Also, another thing, I know I keep pausing, it's annoying, but this guy, I swear to God, every year there's like a phase on my timeline where I see him and it's like this TikTok or a short video talking about how he's retiring and this is about to be his last project. But I swear he comes out with something new every year.
Attached seems to garner a ton more attention. Also, if you're wondering why a lot of his movies
he hates AI, right?
and casualties of war,
I saw something about
his
that.
brother's company actually manufactured rudders for planes
He's really
in
mad
World
about
War
it.
II. Kind of explains why The Wind Rises was made. After writing his breakthrough manga, Nazca of the Valley of the Wind, he ended up directing Ghibli's first ever movie, an adaptation of that same manga, and it was a huge success, and this kickstarted the studio's legacy. Ghibli in general is known for their high quality animation, background art, and extremely memorable music by Joe Hisashi. Ghibli films are
I love the
mostly
comforting
hand-drawn,
vibe.
using watercolor and acrylic paints, and
Like,
most of their
look at this,
movies
so
use
calm.
traditional animation methods, where each frame is drawn and colored by hand. Because of this, their movies give off almost a cozy European vibe that have
That's
a lot
what
of
I just
emphasis
said.
on the nature and backgrounds in each scene. I mean, seriously, look at the backgrounds in Ghibli films. They look amazing. People usually regard Spirited Away or Totoro as their best work, as they have the most
haven't
critical
seen that,
acclaim and
Totoro.
popularity. Personally, I think
I've seen
Howl's Moving
Spirited Away.
Castle, Grave of the Fireflies, and Princess Mononoke are their best.
I watched Grave of the Fireflies, chat. I want to say I recorded a reaction to it. I haven't posted it anywhere because I thought it was like a little boring in terms of the reaction, because I was just sitting there and like really taking it in. It was a very deep movie. There was no like wow crazy stuff happening, so I didn't post it anywhere, but I have watched that. It was like I think last week or the week before.
Wit Studio is a new studio
Good movie,
founded in
and it was
2012 by
based on a
Production
real
IG.
story
The
too.
studio was essentially created for their first project, Attack on Titan. Yes,
Oh, thank
literally
you,
one of
Luca.
the best anime of all time
Wit!
was Wit Studio's first project, and they are also responsible for some of the biggest anime, like Spy Family and Vinland
First?
Saga's first season. Wit Studio is known for their amazing action sequences with
Hold on.
dynamic camera angles, and a lot of this
First
can be
anime.
attributed to Tetsuro Araki. The
Attack on Titan being your first anime?
action and pacing he
That
gave
is
to Attack on
insanity.
Titan's first
That's
few
studio
seasons
already.
has created some of the best action sequences I've ever seen. They've also
First
reportedly
anime.
started work on a One Piece reboot, which is low-key crazy considering One Piece hasn't even finished, but whatever. On one hand, it's insane
yeah,
to think
when's
that
this
they're
coming out?
working on so many projects, but on the other hand, this is the anime industry, so we can imagine what these animators are actually going through. And in 2015, an interview with
Chad, I heard they get paid really badly, but then I think even the mangakas, right? The people that write the manga, they get paid even worse apparently, or maybe nothing at all.
done with Naganuma, a staff member at Studio Wit. When they asked about his experience, he said, "It's a battlefield. Basically, what you see on Attack on Titan is what I see at Studio Wit. One comrade falls after another. What is going on at Studio Wit?" Apparently, the default lunch of Studio Wit members is energy bars, and they all magically revive after eating one. And
This
then
is
go
a
back
great
to
video,
work.
by the way.
Yeah, I
Amazing.
hope they're exaggerating.
I'ma leave a
because
like.
That sounds pretty horrible. Not gonna lie. Sunrise Studio was founded in 1972.
Never heard of
and
it.
Revolutionized how anime was made. Instead of having a production
Looks like a, I don't know, some industrial brand over
on
there.
a single person,
The way the
they
logo
created
is
the
and
role of
everything.
producers who invested in anime together to mitigate risk. This helped them create many classics like Cowboy Bebop, Patlabor, Code Geass, and of
Ooh.
course,
Oh,
the
Code
Gundam
Geass!
series. They've also formally been renamed to Bandai Namco Filmworks, but I'm gonna keep calling them Sunrise. As a
Wait,
studio,
what?
they're well known for their fluid animation sequences, which gave them the nickname
Namco.
Sunrise Smooth. Honestly, fire cocktail. Like Toei, because they are so big, they have a ton of smaller teams simultaneously working on their projects.
That's cool.
Because of that, it's also a mixed bag. Sunrise as a studio is hugely influential. I mean, just take a look
Are
at how
these middle
popular
schoolers?
Gundam as a series is. A lot of that can be attributed to Sunrise's great anime adaptations of the franchise. In addition, they produce a ton of great classics and have the name recognition to pull in industry veterans. And that's not the only genre that they've revolutionized. Love
They are
Live
huge,
was created
yeah.
by Sunrise Studio as well, and has
My
pretty much
figures
made
are from
anime
them.
idol girls that much more popular. And in
Bandai
terms of working
Namco.
conditions, it seems that Sunrise is pretty good and treats their full-time employees well. Studio Gainax was founded in 1984
Never heard of it either.
and used to be considered the GOAT of anime studios. Their first
Really?
big commercial success is considered to be Gunbuster, which is still a widely influential
heard of
anime,
it.
but they would end up making something that was even greater. One of these university
Inuyasha.
students who founded Studio Gainax was named Hideaki Anno, and he would head Neon Genesis
Oh,
Evangelion.
close enough.
This
I'm
is
kidding.
one of the most influential anime of all time, and is widely considered to be the studio's best and most popular work.
Chad, why is this anime so popular? Is it like the story? Is it, did they do something like for the first time ever? Are they like pioneers or of like mecha or whatever? What is like the best thing about this? The story? Okay.
It allowed the studio to keep making
Story?
great projects. Shows like Karekano, Fooly Cooly, and Gurren Lagann are results of
Fooly
these,
Cooly.
and arguably
Gurren
some of
Lagann.
the best anime to ever be created.
I got that a
in my
lot.
opinion. The reason Gainax shows are so
recommendations.
good is because they're so creative. And a part of this idea is something called the Gainax ending, where a Gainax show will end kind of unexpectedly or weirdly. Either this is done out of an artistic or creative decision, or sometimes it's just done to meet deadlines. But the Gainax ending is known in the anime community as kind of a staple of the studio. But unfortunately, Gainax didn't last forever. Studio Trigger was founded by former Gainax
So it ended. And then it became Studio Trigger?
staff members Hiroyuki Imashi and Masaki Otsuka in 2011, and it definitely feels like it's carried on that creative spirit that Gainax had. They immediately came out swinging with series like Kill la Kill and movies like Little Witch Academia. Gurren Lagann, one of Gainax's later works, definitely served as the core inspiration for a lot of Trigger's early works. Trigger is also known for their crazy plot lines and fluid visuals, both of which complement each other perfectly. Their storytelling is often chaotic and comedic at the same time, which helps their exaggerated animations sell that much more. If you want a good example of some of their recent works,
Persona
Cyberpunk
Music!
Edge Runners was absolutely amazing. And
Oh yeah, this was immaculate.
More grounded, but still action-packed.
I love the vibe of it.
Mappa is one of the most well-known animation studios today for their amazing work on shows like
listen. Okay, not the studio. Like, I know the way they treat their works and all that trash, but I meant Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen could have been made by any studio. I don't care. It is the goat of this new generation.
They were founded in 2011 by seasoned anime producer Masayo Maruyama after he left Madhouse. Due to his connections, Mappa was immediately interconnected with the anime industry. But in 2016,
don't tell me this is their first anime,
and was replaced by Manabu Utsuka, which resulted in huge changes to the company's culture and goals. Mappa is a studio now,
so he's
has a reputation of being very reckless. They've grown
he's the
extremely
villain?
fast due to taking on a bunch of projects and still being able to deliver quality animation. But of course, we talk about anime, we have to talk about their work practices and how they get that quality animation in the first place. Everything from the scheduling, the work hours, and even the culture has been criticized at Mappa. This became a trending topic during Jujutsu Kaisen's second season. Animators on Twitter revealed that their time at Mappa was horrible. One person who worked on the final part of Attack on Titan said that they finally got to go home after 3 days. Like, Mappa, what are you doing to the animators? Let them out, please. Unfortunately,
not gonna lie, I thought it would be a lot longer because I thought their reputation was that bad. I mean, this is still bad, by the way, but I just thought it would be like 3 weeks or something, you know?
Mappa has zero to little reason to stop their practices because the properties that they're adapting are some of the biggest in the
world. Whoa, what was that? Was that Persona?
Reason to stop their practices because
no, this is freaking Chainsaw Man, isn't it? I can't
properties that they're adapting are some of the biggest in the world, like Vinland Saga Season 2, Chainsaw Man, and Attack on Titan. They also have a ton of connections within the industry, and that's why they're able to get so many talented animators in their studio despite the horrible pay and working conditions. I only hope that it can get better, because Mappa is truly working these animators into
Chat, any update on them?
Kyoto Animations, also known as KyoAni, is very different from Mappa, and it's considered to be the gold standard of workplace culture for anime.
The heck is that anime? I looked away for 1 second. My grandma could have drawn this better.
Studios. Founded in the city of Kyoto in 1985, the married couple Yoko and Hideki Hata have, in my research, always fostered a great work culture.
Oh, it's a meme.
And unlike other studios, KyoAni employees are salaried and not freelancers. In addition, they even have training programs for young animators to work underneath supervisors and learn throughout their career. You might be surprised to hear that most animators aren't even technically full-time employees. But yeah, that is the industry standard. But KyoAni is very different. They have full-time employees that even get benefits like maternity leave, which is insanely good and unheard of in the anime industry. Now, why are they able to afford all of this? Well, usually anime studios make very little money, even if their anime does really well. The reason for this is that anime studios don't really fund anime themselves, production committees do. Depending on the studio and the amount of producers involved, the amount of money that the studio actually sees after an anime
it's such a confusing business, honestly.
Mappa, for example, doesn't usually keep a large slice of the pie. KyoAni, on the other hand, he has a huge slice when they produce anime. But why is there a difference? The reason is very unique to KyoAni. In 2009, they started hosting the annual Kyoto Animation Awards in 3 categories: original novels, manga, and scenarios. And a lot of their biggest work have come from these contests.
So why don't they just go work for them?
Violet Evergarden.
Because he said that Mappa, you know, a lot of people want to work for them because of the titles that they have. But wouldn't you want to work on with a company or under a company that has better work conditions and pay, regardless of the title? Or is it like your resume is more important? You want to be you wanna have that tag like I was part of JJK, AOT, Vinland Saga. This video sucks. It has no Shido. Okay, it's gonna come, man. Don't worry.
Because they are licensing those projects.
I promise you, it's gonna be there.
Because KyoAni doesn't have this pressure of external producers, they can also take way longer to work on their anime. That's why when you watch our shows like Violet Evergarden or Hibiki Euphonium, you can see the love and care in every single shot. I mean,
that's true. This is a very beautiful anime. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the trailers and it's pretty. Actually, the work ethic in Japan is very toxic. That is true. Like, I've seen a day in life of a lot of people in Japan. There's like this one channel, I forgot the name, but he like documents the entire thing. And a lot of times it's just so sad, man. Not only the work ethic, but their living conditions to begin with. Not to mention, I guess the marriage, the dating life, and the love life in general over there. That's also really trash. Like once you become a salary man, your life is just the same, and it's pretty much over. And I heard another thing where they don't directly fire you. Who was talking about that? I think Connor from Trash Taste, because they live there, right? So he was talking about it, that they don't directly fire you. They're gonna kind of not overwork you, but make your life so hard to the point that you would want to quit yourself. It's so strange. It's crazy. Yeah, Paolo from Tokyo, that's the man. I just saw his video recently where he went to like this not massage place, but like a whole health checkup. That was really relaxing too. I've been watching him since like years. Great channel.
This is some of the best animation that the medium has to offer, and all the employees were treated fairly. It's the best of both worlds. Their work culture and business model has been very successful, and I hope the best for them, and I hope more anime studios start to move in this direction. And they're also known for making people cry. I mean, if you watch Clannad or Canon, you know that shit makes you cry, man.
Really?
A1 Pictures was created by a former Sunrise staff producer,
Glazers.
And they're pretty interesting because their works are very variable.
Fate Strange Fake is about to be mentioned. Otherwise, I'm disliking the video.
In terms of animation quality. Usually depends on if the project has the budget and if the production schedule itself is good, but they are well known in the anime community for consistently releasing a ton of anime. More specifically, light novel adaptations. A lot of these don't really hold up in the long term, although it's not to say that they never release good-looking shows.
Any SAO Glazers?
Solo Leveling, and Kaguya-sama all look really good, but at the same time, their releases include Arrow Manga Sensei, which is like
Strange Fake.
Also, in 2018, a section of A1 Pictures broke off into Cloverworks Studios,
I like
which is
this
still
guy.
managed by the same Aniplex parent company, but tends to have a much higher benchmark of animation quality within their shows. It's also worth noting that A1 Pictures has a pretty bad reputation of overworking their employees. In 2014, a 28-year-old employee at A1 Pictures worked over 600 hours a month for 3 years, and
hold on. I've never heard of that number in a month. How many hours are there in a month? Wait, whoa. Hold on. You're telling me there's 730 hours in a month? And this man worked 600 hours. What? Like, did he ever sleep?
Ended up committing suicide. This has forever.
No. Wait. Oh my god. I don't care what anyone says, this is the worst studio now. Oh my god. I never thought nothing could prepare me for that outcome.
Pictures worked over 600 hours a month for 3 years and ended up committing suicide. This has forever stained their reputation. Shame on you, A1 Pictures.
Shame on you. I never knew this. This is such a good video.
Masaki Yuasa, an animator, and
what the heck?
Who had a long history with Yuasa. Their first work as a studio
Why
was
is this not talked about much?
Time, but their first series was Ping Pong the Animation. In addition, they don't really care about the nationality of their employees. Instead, choose them based on their skill. This means
that wasn't Mappa like 300? Oh my god, this is disgusting.
A ton of Science Star employees aren't even Japanese. As a studio, Science Star is known for being out of the box. They experiment with really insane color palettes and are not afraid to push the envelope with...
I'm not trying to make Mappa look good or anything, or I'm not defending Mappa. I'm just like, I thought Mappa was the worst studio from what I hear on Twitter and everything, but I have never once heard about this story, which is insane to me.
This means that a ton of Science Star employees aren't even Japanese. As a studio, Science Star is known for being out of the box. They experiment with really insane color palettes and are not afraid to push the envelope with series like Devilman Crybaby, which has
that's a W. I think that's great.
Gay sex scenes and a whole lot more that I can't show. A lot of their weird energy
saw like
does come
a couple
from
episodes on
but
Netflix. Didn't continue it.
Released Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which is just as weird despite not
what
being
the heck
directed
is
by
that?
Yuasa at all. If you want some more Science Star recommendations, I would highly recommend Devilman Crybaby, Ping Pong the Animation, and Keep Your Hands Up
Ping
Azuka.
Pong?
Also, watch out for Danzadan, which is coming out soon and is in by Science Sorrow. I'm really excited for this one. Studio Shaft was founded in 1975 and are known for their experimental visual style.
I'm gonna get banned for that, no?
Example of Shaft anime are Madoka Magica and Monogatari series. You can immediately tell that you're watching a Studio Shaft production due to the work of directors Miyuki Shinbo, Shino Onuma, and Tatsuya Oishi, who formed what is known as Team Shinbo. This Team Shinbo
I thought he was gonna say Team Shaft.
Stylistic ideals with whatever project that they were working on. Sometimes they would use sharp color contrast, high-paced jump cuts, and even place real-world objects within the animation itself. All of this gives Studio Shaft anime a really surrealist feeling, which I think is super cool. All of this gives Studio Shaft anime a really surrealist feeling, which I think is super cool. The Monogatari series also features iconic moments like the Shaft head tilt, which is actually confirmed by Team Shinbo to be a Studio Shaft staple. Although Shaft has lost a lot of their...
I swear I've seen that in like every anime. The head tilt that they do? Isn't that like in every shonen?
Which is actually confirmed by Team Shinbo to be a Studio Shaft staple. Although Shaft has lost a lot of their core staff over time, including the disbandment of Team Shinbo, they still produce popular shows like March Comes In Like a Lion and Quintessential Quintuplets. Ufotable? Ufotable? Ufotable was founded in 2000 by Hikaru Kondo after he split from Telecom Animation Film. They're well known for their strong relationship with the game company Type Moon, and they've adapted a ton of their games, like the Fate series and Garden of Sinners, as well as working with them to create animations for their in-game cutscenes. Ufotable is most notable for their incredibly vibrant and colorful animation. As I'm sure many of you have seen,
Chad, is this the best studio?
Arguably, Ufotable is the best studio in the industry at combining 3D computer graphics with traditional 2D Sakuga. Like KyoAni, Ufotable hires a lot of their employees full-time and is regarded as one of the better animation companies to work for. I'm not really sure where they're getting all that money from, but wait a second, they committed tax fraud? Yeah, this is something that I actually didn't know about until I made this video, but apparently Hikaru Kondo refused to pay around $4 million in taxes, and also the Japanese government made a report noting that Ufotable was suspected of misappropriating funds from a charity auction for the 2011 Tohoku earthquake.
Has there been a single studio that had like the perfect track record? Maybe the Kyoto one, right? Probably that one. They had like they had training services and everything and salaries, but they got unlimited tax evasion.
They never ended up filing charges, but Kondo resigned, and because of this, he is now facing up to 20 months in prison. Top G move, if you ask me. Studio Bones was founded in 1988.
20 months for $4 million? That ain't even that bad.
From our Sunrise staff members who were bored on working on mecha anime and wanted to try more creative projects. Studio Bones is most well known for their insanely well executed fight and action sequences. In fact, you could argue that they have some of the best 2D Sakuga in the industry
Heaven's Feel, man.
A huge reason that they're known for this is because of Yutaka Nakamura, known as one of the GOATs in animation. He's popularized techniques like the
he's got a towel on him. You know he's the GOAT. Look at him.
Nakamura, known as one of the GOATs in animation. He's popularized techniques like the Yutapon cube, which is where debris forms cubes to show the destruction. You can see the influence of Yutapon cubes across the industry. I mean, even in The Legend of Korra, I've seen Yutapon cubes made for debris. And even now, Nakamura continues to innovate at Bones.
Wow, he started that trend?
Absolute
what the heck is that?
Bangers over the years. Like Cowboy Bebop the movie, the Full Metal Alchemist series, Mob Psycho 100, or
These are all
High School
bangers.
Host Club, My Hero
And I haven't seen any of them.
I mean, much more. Just go through Bones' catalog. It is impeccable. Studio Orange
so any
was
flaws? No
by
flaws.
3D CG animator Eiji Inomoto in 2004, who is well known for his works on Ghost in the Shell and Zoids, specifically the 3D animation part. The studio mainly did outsource 3D animation until 2013. They started doing co-production with other studios to make shows like Black Bullet. But then Orange started making completely new anime, with shows like Land of the Lustrous being met with great critical reception for actually having good CG. Studio Orange is so unique in their approach to 3D animation that I can genuinely tell that they understand the strengths of CG and how to play into them. Usually in 2D anime, CG is just pretty good thrown in there when an object is difficult to animate, and it doesn't usually blend all that well.
What am I looking at? Is this
Orange
Berserk?
Makes sure that all of their models feel like they are genuinely alive instead of just stiff figurines. The character expressions genuinely feel
should I watch Trigun Stampede?
Almost Disney-like, but with that anime touch.
Is it lit?
And this is because
it looks
they don't
amazing.
shy away from using 2D animation to first sketch out what the facial expressions might look like. Using both mediums like this results in a product that is greater than the sum of its parts. And you can see this clearly in their newest series, Trigun Stampede, where Vash's facial expressions and movements just feel so fluid and alive. I genuinely love them. Their 3D animation doesn't make me gross out or wish that the studio had more budget to just make it 2D instead, because the anime genuinely looks better in 3D, and I think it's a sign of more 3D animation to come. Before I end this video, I want to let you all know that I stream on Twitch a lot. Check out my Twitter for updates on videos and dumb memes.
Man, I'm gonna hit the sub. This was a wonderful video by Once again, Adi Kendo. I learned a lot. I never knew about the unlimited tax evasion. You know who I blame? I 100% blame Heaven's Feel. I don't think there will ever be a better movie than Heaven's Feel. The entire trilogy, it is so peak in every sense, mainly animation, that we will never get a movie as good as that, and it is still my favorite movie of all time. The entire trilogy, but the third one just goes so hard, and I think it's because of Heaven's Feel. This man had to commit tax evasion. As for A1, nothing could have prepared me for this plot twist about this 28-year-old man, so freaking young, and I've never heard about this. It's insane. Yeah, this is insane. And then again, we knew about the mappa part. I don't think I learned anything new about the mappa because this was talked about literally everywhere. Kyo Anai, this is like a GOAT studio in terms of how they treat everyone, and you know, the helping services that they got for newer students and whatnot. That's cool. Trigger, nothing much said over here. Gainax, they transformed into, what was it, Bandai or something? No, they had like a Gainax ending. There was one studio that transformed into Bandai. I think it was like a weird name, right? The one that I said is kind of industrial or something. Science. Oh, this one, Sunrise. Shaft was so peak. Yeah, Shaft is amazing too. But man, a lot of cool stuff. And Madhouse, again, I never knew about this. Like, you know, Madhouse and then Mappa, the correlation between that. But the thing about Mappa was, right, the guy left Madhouse, joined Mappa, but then he also left Mappa, right? This is the villain, chat. So Otsuka, this is the villain, this right here, the ultimate final boss. And with that being said, if you did enjoy, please leave a like, check out my Patreon for full and early uncut reactions, and my anime store as well. I will see you in the next one. Bye.